Hey, how y'all doing? Scout Horton. It's my Superman Batman rant. I'm real hecka late with this, but I was trying to actually do a review quicker, but my camera ran out. Had everything all nice looking and everything edited. Didn't work out. So, here it is. Late as heck. This is my review. Uh, so, basically, what I think of the movie. I think it sucks, like everybody else. What I think they need to do differently, I'll tell you in a minute. First things I want to say first. If a superhero is a superhero, this is my first point. Morals, okay? Everybody's going to dance around this issue. I'm not going to dance around it. This movie was so immoral that it made me like sick. Like I was like, listen, these are superheroes, they're not villains, all right? If you're talking about anti-hero like Wolverine, and we know that's established as the character, then we're going to expect that from Wolverine. But when you're talking about Superman, he is truth and justice. I mean, he is like a holy figure, like a messianic hope. I'd say Jesus Christ. I mean, there's a lot of comparisons too. He came down from heaven. You know what I mean? He had a father, died early. He had a heavenly father. He had an earthly father that died early, and then they found him. It's kind of like a comparison to a virgin birth. There's a lot of stuff in there, and then like he's morally just. He's all powerful, eyes of fire, so forth. But he could be everywhere at once. There's a lot of comparisons, but I'm just saying he's a definitely divine inspiration. It's like, and if you look at the name in Hebrew that they named him, Kal-El, it means voice of God. So I believe the writers really saw him as like the ultimate representation of truth, of a God-like person. And I believe like Jesus Christ, um, like the God, not a God. You know what I mean, like the God. Anyway, I believe also that from a practical standpoint, though, when you look at the morals of Superman, if you're an all-powerful, let's just say you're all-powerful, you know, you're a being like that, you come in the world, and then, you could at any point accidentally just trip and like cause an earthquake, that would level the seaboard. I mean, you can't do stuff like everybody else. You have to be very gentle, very, very conscious of everything. If he was going to be a dictator, he hadn't even had to get to Justice League or Batman. He could have killed Batman in 2 seconds. I don't care what Batman did. If he's not a moral person like the one in the comics, he loses control, then he kills everything. And like even in the movie, the way he grabbed Batman and just pushed him. I mean, if Superman used both his hands like that, it should have been like one finger. Really, it should have been like he should have flown because that's how powerful Superman is in the comics. But in this one, he's like pushing him. I mean, really, like, come on, man. If he pushed Batman, he would be through 5 buildings, not like right there, because he hit Zod, and Zod was flying through buildings, and he was flying through buildings. So why does he push Batman? And even if they're saying it's a gentle push, it's just that whole thing was stupid because the point is what makes Superman like that is literally he's so moral. He restrains himself to the point where he won't harm people, especially if he knows they don't have the strength. He won't fight them, or he'll try to get out of it. And he would have like, if he did anything, he might have like thumped them. That would have been funny, or he might have broken his armor off, like they did in the first fight when he hit the Batmobile hit him and then he broke it. That was kind of cool. I mean, I liked that whole thing, and he was like, I could kill you if I wanted to. But like the second one, it was just anyway. I'm getting too far ahead with the fight thing, but I'm just saying Superman represents that. And I never liked in Man of Steel how they kind of had him flying through buildings, and innocent people were in there, and he's heat visioning, not thinking about who might be on these floors. Superman wouldn't do that. He would be like, "No, you know what? I'm not gonna do that." And plus, it was like his first fight in the first movie. It's supposed to be of this Superman, so to have him fighting Zod in the first place in the first movie was kind of heavy, fighting this heavy duty villain he's never dealt with that before. And he only used like one of his powers. That's the next thing. It's like too depowered. Like he doesn't have he has like half his strength. He has like only like one of his powers. He barely can fly. He barely can move fast. He doesn't have freeze breath. He doesn't have super breath. He doesn't have X-ray vision, really. I mean, he kind of has X-ray vision, but how much does he use it? You know what I mean? He never really uses it in this film, in Man of Steel. So even in this movie, they still didn't add the powers. They didn't do anything with his other powers. It's getting on my nerves, and I think a lot of people are. But so besides the moral issue and the underpowering of Superman, those are like major problems that I can't think of what the other thing is, but that's the major problem for me because I'm a Superman fan. That you would take, and I think it's sick for you to do that because like kids look up to this guy, and he should not be like kind of halfway moral. It sends the wrong message to kids because they're thinking, oh, so that's all I need to do is I have power. Doesn't matter what I do with it. No, when I was a kid and I saw Superman, I knew, man, you have to respect the power you have and do what's right with it. You have to respect the innocent. You have to take care of those who are weaker than you, and you feel strong in that protection. Protecting, kind of not dominating. And Superman is too powerful he would be a dictator if he just doesn't, he's too powerful to not be passive. If he's not passive, he's a dictator. There's no way you can have it both ways because he's too powerful. Now, when you look at us, like Batman, okay, he's moral and he does a little bit more damage, but he has to. He's a normal human being. In order to stop a lot of criminals, he's got to go to another level. And he still doesn't kill him, but he has to like break bones and stuff because he can't like Superman just like, take the bullets and then freeze him or, take him and tie him up real quick because he's faster than the speed of light. Batman can't do none of that stuff, so he has to do conventional means. He has to be a little bit more edgy, but he still doesn't kill him. And Batman's like this guy who was he's a kid. He saw the worst thing that could ever happen to him in an alley, and looking at my time there, guys. He's in an alley. He has like his parents killed, and he doesn't know what to do. So, I mean, this is what he goes through. The worst thing that could happen, and then from that, he decides that hey, I'm going to be a symbol of terror to those who cause terror. I'm going to take back the power they took from me. That kind of thing. And I'm going to dedicate my life to this. But he never became evil. He became a force against evil. He learned how to, yes, be in the darkness, but not become the darkness, and that kind of thing. And I think that's what makes Batman so cool and inspirational because he tells you, like, you can be surrounded by darkness, but you still don't have to give in. You don't have to give in to the evil. Even though the Joker and other villains keep trying to push him to go over the edge because they're crazy and they want to see him break, they can't stand that he's so good, he will never kill them because that goes against who he is. That makes him become them. And even in one of the movies I saw, they're like, you can't use gun because then you become them. So that's the Batman. That's his one law. But both of these superheroes, in their own perspective way, could become global dictators. That's why the Injustice League was created, but as an alternate universe. But even Batman, I mean, he's been offered the League of Shadows many times, and the Demon's Head said he'll give him like a fake immortality. It's not real, but it's like he'll give him this thing where he could keep coming back for hundreds of years if he almost dies, and he can have a dictatorship. So even Superman, if he kills him, if he gets in that Lazarus pit, he could come back. He could have time to figure out other technologies. Batman could be a dictator. He could be a true problem, if he wanted to. He's been offered that multiple times. So what makes him a superhero is he's constantly turning down that life. I mean, he gets technology from other planets, from the Justice League later. I mean, he could rule the whole planet with even some of the technology he gets. And he's a super genius. He can figure out how to do that. He already also knows the weaknesses of all the Justice League later in the comic books. So that's why he's the most trusted one, because he's the one that, yes, he figures out weaknesses and stuff, but he's also the most level-headed. He only cares about justice. His parents were taken from him. As much as it seemed like he's just about anger and stuff, it's not anger underneath that really runs him. It's a sense of justice, a sense that it was unjust what happened to his parents. Not revenge, but like it's a sense of, I don't want this to happen to someone else. I can't let this happen to anyone else. It's not enough for me to be revenge and get this guy. No, I got to get every criminal and get them off the street. I got to make sure they serve their time. but I'm still not going to become them. So that's Batman. That's what Batman means to me. And when you make him into like a killing machine where he's just driving through everybody and everything with the freaking tank of a bat car and it doesn't even have any kind of purpose to it, and like the fight scenes were cool. Let me tell you, Ben Affleck and Mr. Cavill did great jobs. You know, they were both good actors, man. They had the intensity. You made them. It make you believe they're Superman and Batman. They look like it. They feel like it. I mean, whatever they said about Ben Flack, he did a good job. That's what I'm calling him now, Ben Flack. But now Ben Affleck, he did a good job. That man, you know, he became Batman. I mean, he's still not. I mean, in some ways, he's not as good as Christian Bale. Christian Bale is the best. Val Kilmer to me was second best. And then I put Ben as like third right now. Because Michael Keaton was kind of too robotic. Even though he was the first one we've ever seen, and he got the role, he wasn't really like, you know. My favorite, of course, like everybody else, is, of course, you know, Christian Bale. But, I mean, I guess I could say, actually, I would say now that I'd say Ben Affleck is number 2. And that's a lot. Excuse me! Thank you for saying that. Bless you. I know you guys did. No editing in this video, okay? So, guys, I'm just saying, get Ben Affleck, give him an applause, because he did a great job as Batman. I mean, his mannerisms, his intensity. I mean, he was a good Batman, okay? But the script and the way all these like storylines were jumbled into one big script, it's like they didn't take the time to take one movie and then add it to another one, you know? Like individuals, like they didn't let each one have their own film and then do this, you know, big thing. They just come out with Batman and Superman. And we don't even know who Batman and Superman are yet. I mean, Batman's old. Why do they keep doing that? He's old and he has no sidekicks. He's a lonely, mean guy who just kills people. I mean, that doesn't make me interested in him. He just comes off as kind of a mean guy. I mean, honestly, he's one-dimensional. Even though Ben Affleck brought a lot of life to that one dimension. This was amazing. But the actual storyline is just a guy who's lonely, who's mad about whatever, and his parents, and he just kills people. That's a psychopath. That's not Batman. That's what they claim Batman is. I mean, Joker would love this guy. Joker would be like, man, let's go kill people. He'd be like, okay. Of course, this is the other problem. There would be no Joker. If this Batman exists, this Batman would have killed Joker already. He's already killed then Joker, you know, all these guys. Two-Face. And if they're alive, then this Batman is either not as good as their other Batman, or, you know, how does that work? Because Batman has the power. He's way more skilled than the Joker. It's not that he can't kill the Joker. It's because he chooses not to. Don't underestimate Batman. A lot of y'all think Joker's like, oh, he's so smart. He's a genius, but Batman has outsmarted him how many freaking times? He's outsmarted all these villains as smart as they are. So Batman's a freaking monster when it comes to intellect. You can't outsmart him. Even when they have riddles, like ancient riddles and stuff, they had him in a freaking box, he got out of it. Like, with bombs and everything, he would get out of it. So you can't outsmart him. So he could kill them literally as soon as he got out of that box. He'd just go kill him. So this Batman would do that. So you just destroyed all your villains because there's no reason for them to exist. Or he might, you know, just might as well join teams with him because, I mean, he's not that different. If he needs backup and he decides to kill, they're there. He might use them, you know. So Batman is the one character that even if it would help him in a fight, he would never join Joker's team. He would be independent on his own team for justice. And that's what's inspiring about Batman. He's like a one-man army against the world of evil. He doesn't need anybody else, doesn't care about anything else. But he, underneath that, does have a nurturing side. That's how he was able to train Robin, because he took him in, even though, you know, that happened. He took him in as an orphan, and he took in these other guys and trained them, you know. Even though he went through all that, he learned how to help them to go through their orphans situation. So it's a very touching story. So that's my thoughts about that. And the Justice League introductions, like, oh, come on. Especially Aquaman. He just comes in, kind of floats in, and he's just like, oh, I'm doing a football pose. Yeah. Go Heisman. I mean, it's kind of like, what was that? And then like everybody else, the Flash, I was so confused. I didn't know what was happening until later when they explained it. I was like, what in the heck is happening here? That whole dream sequence. It's kind of like what happened with the Avengers, the second one, when like Thor is sitting there and all of a sudden it's lightning and oh Ragnarok, blah blah. And you're like, what? I don't know where these guys get these ideas that they could just throw dream sequences anywhere randomly and everyone just knows what's happening. So I just hated the movie. I'm gonna be real with y'all, and that's hard to say, man. I hate saying it, but I had to think about it for a while because I was like, the visuals are tight. Would I even buy this movie? I mean, let me tell y'all what's sad. I bought the dang Godzilla movie, and I still probably won't buy this movie on DVD. I probably will never buy this movie, and that's hard to say because I'm a Superman fan. Even with those errors in Man of Steel, there was like enough of stuff there where you could still see some of Superman there, but this movie was so stupid. I mean, and the Doomsday thing. Why? Why? Doomsday is the best villain he's ever fought. Period. He's unstoppable. He's been cloned over millions of years. It's like an ancient evil that has a great storyline that you could build into something coming from another galaxy and coming here. I mean, kind of like Darkseid, but this is even worse than Darkseid. You have to have Darkseid and then something worse, so we got somewhere to go. But when you're like stopping a Darkseid, or that's probably where they're going to come because they had the whole flashback. We have nowhere to go because you started with Doomsday, and this Doomsday is so stupid. A clone of Zod. I mean, really, you couldn't just get another clone at least. It had to be Zod. I mean, how easy is that for you to do? You're like, oh, we're just going to take the villain from the last movie and redo the same villain. They won't notice. I mean, that's weak. Like, why is a clone Zod more powerful? Now, it makes more sense when they explain that it was an ancient Kryptonian who had been cloned and killed again and again and again. That actually makes sense to me because that means he regenerated over time. He turned into this because of experiments. That took a long time and like kind of like Wolverine, where they kept on messing with him, and he became this thing. But you can't just in like 2 seconds go into the ship and go, hey guys, I'm Lex Luthor, create a clone for me of Zod, and now he's perfect. So I've heard a lot of people say some of these same things. I agree with these same things. Wonder Woman was wonderful. I would like to marry her. She was just super fly and fine. But the way they kill Superman for no reason at all, just to get views, is so lame, guys. It's so lame. He just flies off and gets the kryptonite spear and then gets stabbed. I mean, come on. Come on, dude. I can't even. Oh, that was so stupid. I can't even explain how stupid that was. Making Superman fly off like that after she dumped the freaking, kryptonite thing into the water, and then Superman just comes like, gets all good and flies off and kisses her. I mean, it's just so one-dimensional. So anyway, tell me your thoughts, guys. Give me a like if you think it's cool. I promise I'll have some special effects on one of my reviews. This is just one of my reviews I'm doing. Trying to start over, doing some good reviews on my show. Give me a like, okay? God bless you guys.